Hey guys, Rayla here. Welcome back to my channel. So spring is coming up pretty soon, so I wanted to do a kind of spring makeup look. I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to use, so I'm going to go ahead and make up those decisions as I go. But if you want to go ahead and grab your makeup, grab some brushes, and go ahead and get ready with me today. Okay, let's start. So I'm going to start off and I want to moisturize my skin. I have been using some primers and I've been finding that they've been making my foundation look a little tacky. I haven't found the primer that works best for me yet. So I've been finding that moisturizing my skin has been doing a pretty good job of basically starting off with a primer and setting a good base for my foundation. So what I've been using is I bought the Tarte Shelfie Essentials Kit, and in that there's the Rainforest of the Sea setting spray and also the H2O Hydrating Boost moisturizer. And so I've been using these in combination to basically start off my skin and get it ready to put all the makeup on. So I'm going to start off with my eyeshadow today. And so to begin, I'm always going to put a primer on. So I use the NYX Proof It waterproof eyeshadow primer. NYX is really affordable, which is one of the reasons I really love them, and it works really well. So obviously, why would I pay more for it? Alright, and now to do some of the eyeshadow. I've been kind of debating all day what I want to do. So it might take me a second to decide. So for spring, there are a couple different palettes that I've been working with as we've been transitioning. One is the BoxyCharm and Pure eye palette that they did as a collaboration for the March box. I've used it in my last video and I've been using it for a lot of my looks. But as you can see, there are a lot of really fun, bright colors. So I have been using that a lot. I'm not sure. I've been kind of thinking maybe I'll do a peachy look. I also got the Z palette from Ulta. I also got some of the green eyeshadows. So I've been wanting to kind of play with those. I also have this like purple here. Thinking that would look really good with maybe like gold. I think I'm gonna go for like a purple and gold look. So I'm gonna be using the You Had Me at Hello palette by ColourPop, and there's a really pretty kind of purpley color here, and I might use this gold here, or I might use some of the Golden State of Mind, also ColourPop palette. So yeah, let's get started and see what we do. So I'm gonna take a pretty fluffy blending brush, get all the cat fur off of it. I don't think I've used this purple shade yet. Whew, I need to blend that. So I grew up doing theater. So part of that was always having to do like your stage makeup. And so I always really liked that part. And then I started wearing makeup in middle school, things like that. And then it was kind of like the end of high school, and after high school, I just kind of stopped really wearing makeup. I didn't really know a lot of how to do much makeup really, and so for a few years I really didn't wear much makeup at all. And then basically I started wanting to wear makeup a little bit more a couple years ago, maybe like 3 years ago, and so I started hearing a lot about Ipsy, and I thought it was really interesting that you could kind of try stuff out, because at that time I really didn't know, I didn't know any makeup brands, I didn't know what I should be using, and so I pretty much signed up for Ipsy and started receiving the samples of brands like Tarte and ColourPop and City Color, Pixie, Pure, like so many amazing brands that I just had never even heard of before. And essentially just started looking up tutorials, figuring out how to do different looks. I mean, even just like, I didn't even know how to blend eyeshadow. Like I would put like one color on, and that was the extent of my experience with it. I know I look like a crazy fool right now, but trust me, this will get pulled together. But basically, I started experimenting with all the stuff I would get from Ipsy, and I started learning how to blend eyeshadow, and then started learning how to contour and highlight. That was something I had never done before. And then it just kind of started spiraling on itself. It became something that I enjoyed doing, something that I started really enjoying the outcome. I started getting a lot better at my makeup, which started making me feel a lot more confident about myself, which made me want to do it more. And so then at that point, it was just kind of like, all right, you know, I'm starting to get a hang of this. I'm starting to figure this out. And then you could definitely say that I was pretty obsessed already, but I found out maybe about a year ago about BoxyCharm. And I saw that they offer the full-size products. And then from there, that the reason that I really signed up for BoxyCharm and really got on the BoxyCharm wagon was because they offered palettes. And so eyeshadow is kind of like, for me, it's the most fun you can have with the makeup. It's the most experimental you can get, the most you can play with the color. And so I signed up for BoxyCharm pretty much because I saw that they give you eyeshadow palettes. And from there, I mean, my collection has expanded. It's only even been a couple months, but my collection has expanded. My brand knowledge is getting bigger. And it's been just one of those things. I've just been having a lot of fun experimenting with it, and I've been having a lot of success with it. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit about my makeup journey, how I kind of got into playing with it. And I always enjoyed like editing videos and stuff in high school, and so I kind of wanted to get back into that. And I also had all this makeup that I hadn't tried a lot of, and so I kind of combined the two things together and started doing makeup videos. Alright, so now that I've got that blended out, okay, for the most part, I know I look like a crazy person right now, but don't worry, we're gonna make it work. Alright, we got the purple blended out, and so now what we're gonna want to do is go in with a really gorgeous gold. So now we gotta decide which gold we want to use. Alright, so I think we're going with the gold from the I Think I Love You palette, ColourPop still. And because we want this super pigmented, I'm gonna go ahead and spray the brush that I use with a setting spray. I have a matte setting spray from Ulta, and I also have this Cover FX illuminating spray. I'm gonna use that for this brush just because I don't mind if it has a little bit more sparkle to it. And I'm gonna use my Vasanti Eyeshadow 2 brush. I'm gonna go ahead and shake up my spray and spray my brush. Maybe like 2 sprays. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab that gold. So then I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeliner. I'm going to go ahead and use a couple different products. So essentially I'm going to be using the Ciate London Fierce Flicks eyeliner. I'm also going to be using the Ulta classic felt tip liner, and this is just gonna, it's really dark and it just kind of helps. This one's dying a little bit, so I just kind of use it as a combination. And then to create the perfect wing, I'm gonna be using Tarte's Clay Pot eyeliner in black, and that's going to help me create just like the perfect wing for this look. Bring my mirror a little closer. Can't get this. Okay, if I can get the top off of the eyeliner. It's a little thicker than I was going for, but let's do it. Let's do it. And now the winging begins. Alright, so now that I've got my eyeliner done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tightline the bottom of my eyes, and then I'm also going to apply the mascara to the top coat, and then I'm going to start my face. Okay, so for the most part, my eyes are done. Today I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape foundation. This is the hydrating formula I've used in my other videos. It's just my favorite foundation at the moment, so I'm definitely going to be using it. Maybe in my next video, I do have the NYX Total Drop Control foundation, and so maybe I'll use that in my next video. But yeah, today I'm going to be using the Tarte. So I'm going to use this, and I went ahead and I got my Beauty Blender damp. I find that this helps create a completely flawless finish to my foundation. So pretty much since I did that the first time, I have not been applying foundation without getting my Beauty Blender damp. It just works a whole lot better. I do have some discoloration on my face today, so I'm going to go ahead and apply quite a bit of the foundation to my skin and get that full coverage look. I think it's really silly. A lot of people were complaining about the smell of this, but if you use other like Tarte's Amazonian clay products, they all kind of smell that way. And if you've ever been around clay, it basically just smells like clay because it's made out of clay. So I just thought it was really funny everyone was complaining about it. I just think it smells, I mean, it smells natural. It's better than like chemicals. Like sometimes you get something and you're like, oh, do I really want to put this on my face? Am I about to have, like, I have really sensitive skin. Am I about to have like an allergic reaction to this? Like, I like when something smells like something you could find on the planet. So that's just my personal 2 cents. I don't know. I didn't really even consider it. And then I saw other beauty bloggers kind of talking about the smell of it. So I didn't even really think it was a problem until I heard other people talking about it. Oh, this is already making my eyes look better. It's a little bit of a dramatic look for no other makeup on your face. So then those places that I wanted a little bit more coverage, I'm going to go ahead and apply that second layer. Got like a little discolored there. So once that's smoothed out, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my concealer. So I've just been using the concealer from Ulta. It's just their full coverage concealer, liquid concealer. And it's been working pretty well for me. I'm almost out of it, so I am going to start looking at some of the other stuff. I did want to try oh my god, why can't I say this? Does anyone else call it the Sharp Tart? Sharp Tart? So the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, but right now my bank account just can't do it. And of course, like the week after I bought my, pretty much a week after I bought my foundation, Ulta was running a special then where, well, Tarte and Ulta were running the special where if you bought the foundation, you would get the concealer half off. But of course, that was like literally like a week after I had already bought mine. And that pretty much always happens. You buy something and then literally the next week they run a sale on it. It's like, can I just get like a calendar of when you're gonna run the sales, and then you can let me know, and then I can make my decisions accordingly. That was really sad because I really wanted to try the concealer as well, but I wanted to try the foundation more. So I bought the foundation. And I couldn't justify buying both of them at the time. But for 15 bucks I could have. I would have definitely bought the concealer. Oh well. Oh well. Off my soapbox. Oh, much better. Actually, it looks like I got some sleep. So once that's blended, I'm going to go ahead and set that. So I'm going to use the Naked Cosmetics setting powder. This is just basically, I think I received this in one of my Ipsy bags, honestly, and I have been using it for my setting powder since. Before that, I was just using the basic Revlon. You can see it's like pretty much gone. This is probably like the 5th one of these I've gone through in the last couple of months. But then and I received this like months ago, but I basically just never really used it. And then I recently had started baking, and then I realized that I had some really nice setting powder. So I realized that, and I've been using it since. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and still with that damp sponge, I'm gonna go ahead and take that and place it underneath my eyes and up along that crease. I'm making a mess all over my desk. I don't know if you can see, but half of this product is probably ends up wasted, but it's okay. So now what's left to do is a little bit of contour. I'm not going to do a whole lot today, but I will do a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and just do some blush, highlight, and then from there we're pretty much done. Maybe slap on some lips. We'll see. So to contour, I pretty much always use this. I don't really like a really harsh contour. I like it to look as natural as possible. So what I always use is the Beauty Basics. It's really a bronzer trio, but I use it as a contour. So yeah. You've probably seen me use it in my last videos. I do have some other contouring stuff. Maybe I'll do a video of stuff that I've either never used before or things that I maybe used once or twice in my next video. Just because I do have a lot of product, like I said, that I get from like Ipsy that I just haven't really, I mean, maybe I've tried out once when I got it and then just go back to using what I always use. But yeah, let me know if you guys would want to see that, and I could definitely do that. Try and maybe out some new products that I have, give you some first impressions, kind of break me out of my shell too of what I use every single day. So yeah, let me know if you'd like to see that. I also recently found out that I was contouring too low. I was like putting it like legit where my cheekbones are basically could go here, but I was putting it like all of this was just a little bit lower, and it was making my face not look quite as snatched. So since I found that out, I have been liking my contour a lot more too, because it actually looks like it's supposed to. And then I'm gonna go ahead and carve the chin out. So especially where you do it around your neck, you're gonna wanna make sure you blend that out, because you don't want it to look like it's like your foundation not matching or like you have a beard. So you definitely wanna blend this. So obviously you're not gonna wanna show up someplace looking like this. And like if you do, I guess like that's your prerogative, but I guess I don't want you to. Let's make sure we blend it out. So I have this really cool sponge, and essentially one side's like the normal pointed sponge and the other one is just flat. It's just straight flat, and I use this to blend out my contour. And I kind of start with my chin. My skin's really sensitive, so as I do this, it'll get a little bit red. And so what I want to do is I make sure that I blend this out, and then it's gonna look a little bit discolored because I'm basically turning my skin red. So then as I blend the rest of my contour, that'll kind of settle down and I'll be able to see if I need to blend it further. And I want that to be definitely more blended than I really care about my cheeks. My cheeks will ultimately be able to settle down with other things on my face, but if I have just a harsh ass line, no one wants that. That's not pretty. It's not cute. Ooh, this is looking good. I did not know how I felt about this eyeshadow when I first started. It was definitely an experiment. I had seen a picture on Pinterest of a purple and gold eyeshadow look, and I thought it was really pretty. And I wanted to recreate it, and I'm glad that I was able to do at least something with it. It didn't quite turn out that I was expecting, but I still really like it. I'm really happy with how it looks, and I'm liking it more and more as I continue doing the rest of my face. It's definitely a color combination that I would not have tried before. I definitely stick with a lot of like more neutrals or pinks, but I've been really trying to break out of that and experiment with color because I really love color. And so the fact that I haven't been applying that towards my makeup has just making me be like, maybe I need to start doing some more colorful eyeshadow looks. So yeah, that's just kind of been my inspiration for doing this. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I dust off the rest of that. I'm gonna blend that more. See, I told you. You can kind of look at it and be like, no, that needs to be blended more. It's also still pretty pink. So I'm gonna dust off the excess shadow because at this point, I'm gonna want to take highlighter and highlight my face, but I can't do that if it just powder is all over. Actually, I lied, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my under eye look. So now that I've got myself concealed and set, I'm gonna be grabbing the palette that I used earlier, and I'm just gonna be aligning my eye with a little bit of that purple, and then I'll also use the gold to line the center too, to kind of recreate the same look that's on the top of the eye, but very, very, very subtly. So I'm gonna be using the Amazonian Clay Tarte blush. This is in the shade Blissful. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this and just kind of apply it to the apples of my cheeks. And this will also help even out a lot of that contour too. And then I'm going to start a highlighter. I'm going to be using the Pixie by Petra highlighter. This one you can see it's rubbed off so much I use it. But this one's the Rose Gold Blush Duo. I also have a couple more that I'm going to be excited to use in the summer. I have this one, it's in the Peach Honey. So that one's definitely a lot more orangey tone. But for today I'm going to be using the Rose Gold. I'm using the highlighter side, and I'm basically going to be taking my brush and just applying it to the places that I really want that highlight. And go ahead and use my finger to any place that I want more pigment of that. And you'll be able to see. Yeah. It's beautiful. And I like this one because it almost matches my skin tone. So even up close, like it's a little shiny, but it's not, like some highlighters, like you can see the pigment change even. Where this one I really like because it like just adds that shine without changing any of the pigment there. So I'm gonna use this MDM Flow lipstick in the shade Retro. And it's just gonna keep it really light and bright. All right, and then once the lipstick's applied, you are ready to go for the day. All right, so I grabbed the camera to show you a little bit of a close-up of the makeup. You can see that the eyeshadow is right in purple, very gold too. And then the lipstick has a little bit of the pinker tones that the eyeshadow does have. So yeah. Ultimately, I actually really liked how this turned out. I like the way the color looks with the lipstick. I'm really liking how my eyeshadow turned out. I like that I took a risk and did something a little bit out of the ordinary, something that I necessarily wouldn't do every day. I encourage you to do the same. I hope maybe you grabbed your makeup, got ready with me, did something similar. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe as well if you want to hear more from me. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys had as much fun as I did, and I hope that your day is as flawless as your makeup. Okay guys, until next time, bye!